taking a risk. I mean, why am I even doing these strats, right? If I can play a solid game and just beat him.
If I had to tell one of them to take the risk, it would be Deer here.
I agree. Well, I mean, he's also the Protoss, PBT. The Protoss want to mix in a lot of kind of crazy, cheesy stuff. And so far, I'd say Deer's mixed in more clever deviations in his build, not so much like all-ins or, you know.
And well, I think especially against TY, this is important to do very strong moves because TY, there's not a better Terran in the late game against Protoss. Like, he knows how to do everything. He will shut you out completely so that it feels like there's absolutely no way for you to even take a win. He's played some of the most complete late-game TVPs that we have ever seen.
See the Widowmine moving out now.
Quick third command center, by the way. So once again, kind of focusing on that economy. It's done well for him so far today.
So, yeah, very middle-of-the-road build so far for Deer. Just getting those 2 more gates. And we have the third CC. Yeah, coming up here. Yeah, this is about, as textbook as you can get here for both sides.
Cyclone is going to be popping out for TY. Loves to get that early Cyclone.
But he is going to try to come on here and go into the main, maybe with the Reaper. He's going to actually, this is funny. Looks like he wants to see if he can't just kind of push in and just get one Widowmine over here. Whoa.
Kind of interesting.
I think this is a mistake. Okay. I think that was actually really bad.
Well, you know what I think he was thinking was that, hey, you might be doing something like a Twilight here, and you might not have an Observer. So, like, that could have been cool against something like that.
It could have been, except that it wasn't cool because he lost Widowmine and all of his other stuff.
You're right about that, Tasis. It wasn't very cool.
No, it was not. It was actually like, I feel like that was actually...
I thought you were cool, man.
That was actually like kind of sad because he lost a good amount, and now this Warp Prism, it's handy to have a Widowmine back.
Oh, absolutely.
He lost the Marines. Protoss lost a probe, which actually even that was avoidable. And now he's going to come across...
oh my God.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, this is an awesome move right now by Deer.
This is huge. She's going to get in here. And look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just
you really can hurt the Cyclone's lock-on. Oh my God, once again, the Cyclone being blocked. Unable to do anything here. Great micro coming down from Deer. The Reaper comes up to try to help out a little bit, and he does end up holding. It was good crisis management there for TY, for sure.
Good scan, too.
Yeah. Okay. 3 red stalkers and an orange stalker. 3 Valentine stalkers and 1 pumpkin stalker.
1 Halloween stalker.
Yeah.
Looks like he might try to continue to just put this pressure on here. I'm not sure if he would have always done this or if this was simply a response because Terran was aggressive and threw a few units away there.
Yeah, a little bit unsure. I think you're probably right that it has to do with the throwing the units away. He's like, well, I made a prism, and I guess I can go do something with this at least.
SCV going to try to come up here. Kind of an uncommon scout to send an SCV like this, but I guess I was out on the map and he thought I might as well just see what he's got over here if I can get in there. Deer though really on top with these observers, now making immortals though, but he's definitely going in here and trying to survey what exactly the unit composition is here.
Yeah, he's also going into a support bay very, very quickly. That could be for Colossus. Colossus are important and popular in this matchup, but I know that Deer also quite likes disruptors still in this matchup.
That is true.
It absolutely could be either way for Deer here.
So we have the third base coming up right now for Deer, and TY definitely still on 2 bases, but he has that third CC. He just hasn't landed it yet because the pressure that Deer's putting on him. It also just probably would be unsafe in general to go out there, but we got to wait and see when he's actually going to take that third because Deer has really set himself up to keep the pressure on Terran while teching up to all the necessary things he needs to have a really healthy mid-game here.
And, I really love Deer's approach of the 1 Robotics Colossus. Like, he's going to have Colossus out. He's going to have him pretty fast. It's good against Liberators and against Siege Tanks. But he's not overcommitting to them. He's still going to have a hell of a lot of bio units with it. So this new style of just the 1 Robo Colossus is I think it's a really smart move for Deer to play along these lines. Looking at the game right now, though, I would say that TY is actually completely fine. That third command center has helped him out. He's got a good economy. He's got a good set of units.
Whoa. Definitely does not want to lose that Warp Prism.
Certainly.
Going to go ahead and back up. Blink is not done yet. Thermal Ant's very close to finishing up over here. and he's going to continue to get more Colossi out. We don't see Vikings out just yet to try to fight this. We do have some Liberators coming out, however.
Yeah, I think it's hard to counter this correctly with Vikings. There's like so many weapons in the Protoss army right now.
Yeah, well, there's just, you know, Protoss is always trying to get this really sophisticated army set up where everything kind of covers everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Terran's trying to do that to some extent, although I think the path for Terran to get there is a little bit more simple. You know, I guess maybe the more tricky part is what you're doing out of the starport, you know, but everything else you pretty much know where the Marauders are going to come from. You know where the Marines are going to come from. Like, that's pretty much all mapped out for you.
You're right about that. A little bit of harassment still here from Deer, really making great usage of this Warp Prism and the Stalkers that were left behind with it. Glaive's about halfway done, continuing to warp in a lot of Adepts to kind of give the beef to his army so that Colossus won't be targeted down. TY though, you know, he's got good technology and all that. He's got a good army behind him.
Yeah, he's staying back. He's sitting comfortably. I don't know if Deer's actually going to try to attack into him. I know we see this army coming out, but is he actually going to push with it? I'm not so sure that would be wise.
Yeah, I think he just wants the Watchtower as we see him leave the Adept there because, you know, against Liberators and stuff, you want to meet them out there. Liberators have to siege just like siege tanks did before Medivacs. So, you know, if he can kind of go out and poke and slow it down, that gives him a lot more warping rounds.
Okay, he's going to shade out now. Going to try to get an idea of what exactly does my opponent have. Okay, cancels that right over there. And, whoa, he doesn't see that.
Oh, my God. Okay,
this
he's
is
coming in
actually
right
pretty
now.
huge.
The Widow Mines actually get a decent hit there, I guess, but the 4 Medivacs have some serious potential here for damage, but no, 3 pylons sitting there.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Liberator coming down here, doing a good amount of damage back there.
That's TY for you. Has that Liberator in place, even though you think you blocked everything.
Another
You
Liberator
have
over
it.
here.
Oh my God, 10 probes, 12 probes, more and more going down. TY's multitasking starting to kick in now.
And the bulk of the army right now for TY is still safely back at home. Can he actually get this Warp Prism?
Oh, that's a huge kill. Deer starting to push forward a little bit, hitting those Widow Mines. Very good for him to pick those off, but TY has units all over the place.
16 probes have now been executed on the map. It looks like Deer may try to push across. Meanwhile, a counterattack here by TY.
This could be a little bit of a base trade going on. A very small army over here for TY, but it packs a big punch. Deer warping in all of his units at home. He does have a Prism anyways, while trying to push forward here. The first Vikings coming up, but they're not enough to kill those Colossus.
It seems like just barely. Deer has enough to hold this off. Meanwhile, Deer manages to get over to where that command center is. He forces a lift. SCV's no way to evacuate back to safety at TY's second.
Oh, man, TY holding the top of that ramp. His attack was thwarted, so this is really rough. Deer has gotten himself into quite a nice position.
Deer might be able to just take the game from here.
Yeah.
Deer just played a very clean game, and TY kind of maneuvered himself out of position this time around. And TY saw it and took advantage of it, and that's going to be it. GG!
Wow.
We have our final player who has managed to survive into the Final Four.
Really well done by Deer. He played a fantastic series tonight against TY. And in that last game, just able to, as you said, Tastes, play a bit cleaner than TY. TY had some really great moves in there, especially that Liberator harassment. But Deer was so uptight. He warped in enough units at home. He was able to hold on when TY was doing like the semi-base trade type of move, and that's all it took.
Dude, these were great games tonight, man.
Yeah, it really was.
It was a real privilege to cast these games tonight, man. This was just really, really fun. Every game was close. It was back and forth. You really never knew who the hell was going to win.
No, certainly.
Between the two best of fives we had tonight.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was a really great match for each other, and I think that our round of 4 might be our closest round of 4 ever.
I think you're right. Our final semi-finalist is Samsung Galaxy Deer. Congratulations. Thank you.
네, 오늘 94년생 절친록이었는데요. 먼저 소감 어떠세요?
일단
So how do you feel?
굉장히 친한데 약간 미안한 감정도 있고.
I'm good friends with TY. I feel a little bit sad that I had to beat him.
패전은 좀 토스가 좋은 것 같아요.
아 그렇군요. 야심 고백으로 소감을.
I'd say Protoss still has a little bit of an
오늘
edge in PBT right now.
저희가 명경기를 예상한 그 그림이 그대로 적중을 했습니다. 1세트부터 이길 걸 뭐 지는 경기로 나오고 질 것 같은 걸 이기기도 하고. 참
Everybody
재밌는
expected a really
경기가
big match
많았어요.
between you two, and you guys definitely delivered tonight.
그건 이겼어요. 어떠셨어요?
일단 경기.
So let's talk about the first set. You were able to turn that game around after losing the Nexus.
것 같아요.
네.
그래가지고 약간 1세트도 질 수가 없다는 생각을 하고 있었는데
네.
태양이가 확실히 견제를 잘하다 보니까 좀 많이.
I was really confident going into the first set,
그래도
but the harass from TY was pretty damn strong.
수비만 하고
He made the match a little bit tricky.
그랬으면 제가 졌을 것 같은데
네.
제 앞마당 쪽에서.
I think if I just defended properly after losing my Nexus, but instead I decided to be aggressive and I was able to turn the game around from
오늘
there.
회심의 3세트 뉴 게티스버그에서 상대가 결승팀 빌드를 한번 또 보여주기도 했어요.
네.
그 경기는 어떠셨는지?
The third set on New
태양이가
Gettysburg,
굉장히
TY showed a really cool build.
해왔더라고요.
네.
저는 당연히 보고
Yeah, I think he was really prepared for that map.
이런 것쯤이야 이런 생각을 했었는데
네.
진짜 굉장히 힘들었어요.
아 그렇군요. 그러면서 스코어에서 좀
It was really hard to
밀리기
defend
시작했고
against his
심리적으로
aggressive push.
불안해질 법했을 것 같아요. 다음 4세트부터 이제 마지막 이 쫄깃쫄깃했던 5세트까지 풀어가는 게 참 대단한데 5세트는 어떤 마음으로 하셨어요?
일단 3세트 지고 나서부터
How did you feel going into the final set?
그냥 그래 지면 지는 거지
아.
마음에서
Well,
그냥
after losing the
진짜
third set, I was down
네.
1-2, so I just tried to play comfortably.
쉽게 이기고 그다음에
네.
5세트 때는
I just knew I had to be confident if I was going to turn it around.
많이 먹었던 것 같아요. 그래서 좀 유리해.
I think my build choices for the fourth and fifth set were key in allowing me to take an advantage in the early game and then close it out.
견제를 잘해가지고
네.
졌을 것 같아요. 불리했으면.
네.
TY is so good in his liberator control and his medevac
멋진
harass.
경기가 나왔는데요.
So I almost lost both sets.
어윤수 선수의
even though I had a better build.
받은 그 강력함 때문인지 그 영향이 확실히 인터뷰 때 느껴졌었는데 승리자는 백동준 선수였습니다. 이제 다음 상대는 변현우 선수거든요.
네.
사실 그
So you're
다음
playing against
경기에서는
Beyond in the semifinals.
아무래도 전태양 선수를 편애했던 것 같아요.
네.
그래서 아마 백동준 선수라서 달갑진 않으실 것 같아요. 백동준 선수의 입장에선 어떠세요?
Beyond said he wanted to play against CY because CY was deterred. How do you feel, dear, going
네.
against Beyond?
이번에도 도움을 청하려고 했는데
네.
4강전에서 맞붙다 보니까 이번에는 못했는데.
Well, I've practiced
네.
plenty against Beyond. I'm confident against most Terrans.
자신감이 느껴지는 답변인데요. 자 이렇게 해서
But I guess I won't be able to practice
모두
against,
진출자들이
practice with
가려지고
Beyond
있습니다.
next.
이번에는 결승 가겠다는
Although I am a little bit
마인드
worried because he knows my
가지고
style
계실
pretty
것
well.
같아요.
이번에는 진짜
네.
테란 대 토스 전이라서 제가 테란전 최근에 굉장히 열심히 하고 있고.
네.
This time around, it's a PBT in the semifinals.
네, 이전에는
I
정말
think it's going to be
아쉽게
a great
결승을
chance for me to
놓쳤었는데요.
actually advance
이번에는
all the way to the
실패란
finals.
없다는 마인드일 겁니다. 자 마지막으로 현재까지 계속 응원해주시는 팬들에게 한마디를 마지막으로
Any
들어볼게요.
final comments to your fans?
오늘도 좀 힘들게 이겼는데 다음 경기도 테란전.
This was a tough match for me tonight.
편하게 쉽게 이길 수
I'm going to be
있었으면
facing another Terran in the semifinals.
결승 가도록 하겠습니다.
I hope it's easier for me that time around, and I really want to advance to the finals.
지켜보도록 하겠습니다. 다시 한번 4강
And that does it for our interview.
네. 자 이렇게 마지막
Wow.
4강의 주인공
Wow. What a great night.
저는 다음 주 수요일
Tasslecraft
4강전
too.
경기로 돌아오도록
Tasslecraft.
하겠습니다.
This
4강
was
예진표
just
확인해
a pleasure and a treat.
Yeah, really good games, really great. Round of 8. Now we're going to go on to the round of 4. We're getting closer and closer to crowning a champion.
Yes, Beyond 3-2 against Ryung, a must-see TBT series, and Deer 3-2 against TY, another must-see series. Although I got to say, the TBT took the cake tonight. What a
the
crazy
TBT
series that
Well, it was long and dramatic, and I mean, it was really nice. So here's what the Final Four look like so far. A dominant season for Protoss. It's going to be SOS versus Beyondchick, and then Beyond versus Deer.
Wow, Beyond should be within that top 8 for the BlizzCon spot. So is Deer for sure. Youngshik is closing in on it, but SOS needs to win this season, guys, if the defending world champion wants to make it. So, I mean, these matches just get more and more important as we go forward.
Just as a reminder, guys, we do have the ASL and GSL finals on the same day,
September 10th.
September 10th. So definitely be sure to set that in your calendar and tune in early because I think it's going to start at 2:30 Korean Standard Time.
I believe so, yeah.
Just for some perspective here, this show normally starts at 6:30. Obviously, both of those p.m. Korean Standard Time. So you're going to get to see the Brood War finals and the StarCraft 2 finals as long as you want to sit through the whole thing, and I definitely recommend you do just that.
Yeah, make sure you get a lot of hot 6 to keep yourself awake to do that. I have no idea what time it will be for you, but, you know, it's the whole world loves to watch this. And don't forget,
right.
Brood War, Sunday, 1 p.m. KST.
Sunday.
The
Be
ASL
there.
continues.
We'll be there. And that's going to do it for tonight. Good job, as always, Artosis. Thank you guys for joining us. I got to say, it was we couldn't really ask for better games. We love you. We'll see you Sunday for the ASL. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
All that I'm trying to say, I'm looking for a